Hey everyone, welcome to this bonus video. Today is April 19th, 2014, it's Saturday, and for the first time this year, I went thrift store shopping, picked up a ton of PC games, a few other games for other systems, but mainly a lot of PC stuff, a lot of edutainment games, building up that collection of stuff, and of course, going to thrift stores, Goodwill's, another thrift store. We went to 3 Goodwills and like one other store, and I was able to get them for a really cheap. Usually they're like $3 a piece, but they actually charged me for the music CDs as if they were music CDs, so it was even less. So I ended up paying like $1 or $2 a piece, depending upon what it was. The other games were a couple more dollars, but really not too much. And I also picked up a couple board games to add to that set of collections. So anyway, start off I guess with the board games. I was so disappointed. We went to this one place, and I found a bunch of board games I really wanted. But unfortunately, almost none of them were complete, including a few vintage 90s, early 90s board games from my childhood that, trying to find them complete, they go for a decent amount of money. But anyway, I ended up picking up a copy of Win, Lose, or Draw from there. This is complete. I went through everything to make sure it counted everything. So everything is there, thankfully, for this. It says it's as much fun as the TV game show. I have no idea if it is or not. Anyway, of course, this is based on the game show from the 80s, all that. Of course, Milton Bradley made a lot of games based on game shows, but I did not have a copy of Win, Lose, or Draw. I do not know if they made any other versions of that at any point. Also picked up, I don't want to lose all the pieces, this is from the Goodwill. This is a game called 3 Up. 3 Up. This was released in 1972. I believe. Anyway, there you go. You can kind of already see from the vintage thing. Basically, their goal is to stack up 3 of the circles in order to complete the game. You can actually, it's 2 to 4 players. I'll show you guys a shot at the back. The only issue was, and I think there's some decent instructions on the back, there was no paper instructions. This was actually made by Lakeside Games. So anyway, this is kind of cool. 3 Up, just the vintage box and everything like that. It was a cool find. So cool that, and the last but not least, the most interesting of the board games, I picked up a VCR game, but for Epix's California Games. Of course, they also did the California Games was on the NES. It was on multiple PC systems, Commodore 64 and the like. But this is actually the VCR game version, which I've actually never seen before. And seeing this kind of sitting there, I was like, definitely want to grab this. It's just hilarious, to say the least. I have no idea exactly how it even works with the VCR game, but this was that was a cool find. I also picked up a few other things from there. Let me see what else. I'll start with this bag. This is all everything in here, but the but that Win, Lose, or Draw was from one Goodwill. So I'll show you guys everything I got from that one. Okay, that's everything from that bag. Anyway, the other, I also always, when you go to if you go to a Goodwill or anything like that, always when if you're looking through board games, or check out board games, no matter what, you'll sometimes find PC big box games, and they'll put them in as if they were board games. So you can sometimes get the big, the old school style. Nowadays they do all the smaller boxes for PC games, but back in the day they had all the big boxes. And you can sometimes find them, and I ended up finding 2, one of which is but it was sealed, a sealed copy of Monopoly for the PC. Now I had this version years ago. I don't think I still have the CD version of this, but the fact that it was sealed and it looks like it was like original sealing, it wasn't like a reseal or anything. Not that it's really worth anything or real value, but the fact that it was sealed was kind of a cool thing. So I ended up picking up that Monopoly. And the other one, the cooler one I found for me, was the Babylon 5 game. This is by Acclaim. This is actually a collector's, technically, version of the game. They only made it's like collectors, but there's 100,000 of them. So not really that collectors, I guess, because, how many, whatever. But basically what it is, it's an entertainment unit for Babylon 5 with like a photo thing and all this other stuff. So it's a PC program thing with like wallpaper stuff. It's not really a game, but there is full motion video involved with it. So a fan of Babylon 5 would be interested. The fact that I saw this, and if you're wondering, my copy is 16,082. And anyway, it is all complete. It's just this was kind of a fun novelty that I was not expecting to see on a store shelf. And actually, I think, did I get a text message? Oh my god. Cool. Anyway, let's start looking at, like I said, I bought a ton of PC games, mostly just CD cases and all that. And I didn't pick up any that weren't complete. And I made sure, of course, everyone had the disc in it and the disc wasn't destroyed. Like I said, a lot of edutainment stuff. So if you're not into edutainment games, probably not a whole lot of interest here. But picked up Clue Finders. This is the 5th grade adventure edition. Some a lot of these are by Learning Company, by Broderbond, that sort of like. Schoolhouse Rock, Grammar Rock. Oh, I'm saving this one. This one is I have to figure out what this is. A sealed copy of Arthur's Thinking Games. The fact that it was still sealed. Now, there's actually a lot of other Arthur games that came out, as you can see. There's mainly the same type of thing. It's up to 2nd grade, so preschool, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd. Then reading, thinking, and math games. So there's a lot of Arthur games. This was released in 2001. But you can see the artwork is actually more of the Mark Brown books instead of the animated series. So that's kind of, I don't know, an interesting novelty for that. A copy of Trivial Pursuit, the CD-ROM edition. This one was released in 1994. So a little bit of an older PC thing. There's also a screensaver included on the disc, in case you're wondering. Woo. Microsoft Golf. Now, I've had this before back in the day. This was given away in, like, when you got a brand new computer, you would have this. And I actually played this quite a lot because we got it with the computer that we bought at the time. It's actually a fun little golf game for what it is. There was a lot of like downloadable courses and stuff you could get, so you could have a whole lot of different golf courses. I had custom-made ones and ones based on real golf courses and all that. I'm gonna like sneeze in a second. Can I handle it? Can I not sneeze? Yeah, I think that was good. I think we yawned. I think that was good enough. Anyway, and also picked up a copy of Word Munchers Deluxe. Now, of course, this is a new version of Word Munchers, not the original, like, late 80s versions that you saw on the floppy disk. This was released in 1997. I actually picked up another one in the same series of Munchers, and then we'll be getting that as we go. And then, last but not least, the most goofy freaking thing I picked up at everything was this. I have not a single freaking clue what this is. I think it's a video on CD. I don't think it's not a DVD or anything like that. Here's the inside for the disc. If somebody out there tells me what it is, it's clearly edutainment, or, you know, educational, because the panda or whatever it is teaching the robot thing. But of course, I don't know what it says at all. I have no idea if it'll even work in a modern PC. This was actually from Hong Kong. The only reason I know that is because the back says "Do not sell outside of Hong Kong." So it's kind of funny. I picked it up sheer novelty. I have not a freaking clue what this is. But anyway, that's everything I picked up from the one. Don't worry, there's lots more. I picked up a Monster Energy drink that's currently sitting in my bag. So, yeah. I actually really like these. These are the Zero Ultimate Ultra Zeros. Really like them, actually. Diet, so kind of doing a couple things. Anyway, let me get a couple of box games. PS2 game, not of any importance. Most of the time when you're going to the Goodwills and all, they charge about $4 for PS2, Wii, that kind of games. And most of the time you're not finding anything of real value. Usually it's crap. Like, for example, one of them had like 1,000 sealed copies of some GBA game, some Rugrats GBA, one of those GBA videos where with an episode of like All Grown Up on it or something. Like, they had a ton of sealed ones because they all come from like 5 and below stores, which I don't know if everyone has a 5 and below, but basically, you know, it's not a dollar store. So the thing's slightly above a dollar store, and they always have like the most worthless games in them. Once in a while, they have a game that's kind of cool, like a Jack and Daxter was in, you know, has been in there before, and some other stuff. But anyway, apparently the 5 and below didn't want this crap anymore, so now they went to the Goodwill. So Goodwill had a ton of them. I didn't buy any of them because they wanted $8 a piece. Yes, they were sealed, but no way am I paying that. Anyway, so we're gonna look through all these. I'm trying to collect all the Jumpstart games. Try to get all of them. I don't know what it is. I like edutainment games in general. I just think they're kind of cool. And it's one of those things they're easily collectible, and they're so cheap, so it's kind of a cool thing to collect. This is actually kind of cool. This is called Explore Yellowstone. And it's actually like a game. It's by the same people that made Oregon Trail and Amazon Trail and all that. I have actually never played this one before, so kind of cool. We have a Tonka Rescue Heroes, or just a Rescue Heroes, not Tonka. This one has a double bit? No. It has 2 games on it, though, Underwater Nightmare and Eye of the Storm on this one, and then another one that we also had, Race to the Finish and Rescue Robots. FisherPrice Rescue Heroes. Basically, they're episodes of the thing, but they're on CD. They're actually technically like DVDs or whatever, but they were like $1. I ended up picking up because I thought they were PC at the time. I thought they were games. In the end, they're like DVDs, episodes, or whatever. Whatever. I now have them. I just put them with the PC games anyway. Jumpstart 3rd grade. Let's see the backs. Shows you every single one of the Jumpstart stuff. Clue Finders Math. This is another one from Learning Company. This is another Clue Finders game. Wondering if I can get any of these really to install. Here's Reader Rabbit Thinking Adventures 4 through 6. Of course, you gotta love Reader Rabbit. Here's Reader Rabbit 1st grade. My hands are like already getting tired from showing these. Anyway, 3rd grade adventures from Clue Finders. So I have 3rd and 5th, and I think I got 2nd grade somewhere in here as well. Oh, this was cool. I was happy I found this. Was Putt Putt Enters the Race. This is cool. I love these kind of games. So like Freddy Fish, Putt Putt, Spy Fox, a few other ones as well. But anyway, I don't actually own any of these, and sometimes they do pop out at the Goodwills and stuff. This is actually the ads on the front, the covers. Yeah, there we go. It is Disney Learning Toddler with Winnie the Pooh. The book was in upside down, so it was an ad for Book of Pooh. On the other side, you gotta love a Book of Pooh. Nothing but poo on every page. Here we go. Knowledge Munchers Deluxe. This is in that same series. This was released in '97 from Learning Company. It features all kinds of stuff like animals, history, astronomy, popular culture. Never played a Knowledge Muncher, though interestingly enough, it's a free trial for America Online. If you're interested in that, there we go. There's Reader Rabbit 2nd. Monopoly. This was funny. Monopoly World Cup France 98 edition. Yeah, this existed. And old school Jeopardy. You can just tell by Alex Trebek's picture on the front that this is an old one. This was released in '95, so 1995. That was kind of funny. Okay, and a copy of Dora the Explorer: Journey to the Purple Planet. For PS2, it was a couple bucks. I didn't have a copy of this one. And then 2 boxed PC games. This was the cool one I got. You already see what it is. First was Tiger Woods Golf PGA Tour 2004. Just because it was a full box version and it was the same price as all the other ones, I was like, yeah, I'll pay that up. That's cool. And the other one I really was happy to get was a copy of Fear. I love Fear 1 and Fear 2. This is obviously the PC version, but a complete boxed version with everything. So cool to have that. Okay, that is everything from 2 of the places. The worst part is all this, I have to now like catalog and all that fun stuff. That's where the fun really begins. And let me see if I can move some of these CDs. I was also happy, only 1 CD case of any of the ones I bought beat up. I ended up picking up anyway. I only picked up a couple other things from this one store. The same store I got the Win, Lose, or Draw. I also picked up a copy of Active Mind Math Workshop from Broderbund. This was released in '99, so not that old. And the other thing was a PS2 copy of Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I have no idea how horrible this game was. It was sold at GameStop. It still has the GameStop used sticker, but it doesn't have a price on it. This ended up being like $3. It's really probably only worth $1. I know it's not worth anything online. I already checked, but yes, I didn't have it. So it was the same thing kind of with the Dora the Explorer. I didn't own it already, and then last but not least, the damn it! Of course, I knocked my phone out of my charger. Anyway, get all this stuff out. This was the last place that we ended up stopping. Cool stuffs. They actually had a lot of random stuff. Not anything amazing, really, but a lot of other more edutainment stuffs. Trying to get all this crap out of the bag is reaching. There we go. There's everything. Okay, so anyway, first up is Lego Island 2, Brickster's Revenge. I highly recommend checking out Peanut Butter Gamer's review of this game. It was also released on the PlayStation 1 and Game Boy Color. I think the PS1 version would obviously be very, very similar to this version. The voice acting, oh my god, is so funny and bad. Picked up a copy of Backyard Football. Actually, American football. This is also by Humongous Entertainment, the same people that do Putt Putt and all that. They're kind of weird. They're kind of fun, though. They feature NFL players as kids and then a bunch of other random ones. They made a lot of these games, but the core original ones were kind of the more memorable ones. A copy of Nicktoons Racing, obviously for PC. This was released in 2000, so it thankfully still features like Hey Arnold and all, who kind of got like booted not long after this from the Nicktoons line of games and all that. Rita Rapid Playtime for Baby. This is just another one of those ones. This in there. It actually also inside it actually was both this one and the one for toddler. It's both discs in there, so they were all, even though they show that they're two separate ones on the back, they're both included in the 2-disc set in here. Playzone Go Fish. God, I don't know when this was brought. This is from Knowledge Adventure. I'm just looking at the requirements. 16 megabyte RAM. Quad CD-ROM drive. 15 megabytes of hard drive space. Sound card with DAC. Choose from 6 lakes, each with dominant type of fish. You also get a 1-year money-back guarantee. I wonder if that's still in effect. I have my doubts. Anyway, so Go Fish. Blues Clues. Blues 1, 2, 3 activities. Reader Epic 2nd grade. Candyland Adventure. This is probably terrible. From Hasbro. There's actually like multiple worlds to explore. I have no idea what that all requires. This was released in 98. This is a FisherPrice Rescue Heroes. This is actually a game, though. This one's actually a game. So, Lava Landslide. Oh, Lego Harry Potter Creator. Interestingly enough, just not Lego Harry Potter, Lego Harry Potter Creator. This was cool to see. A Freddy Fish one-stop fun shop. This is kind of an activity center. Another one of those ones I randomly like to collect random activity centers. So, and it's sealed. This is a gem. I actually got this just because I saw videos of this, and it's just so funny to watch. People mashing up stuff with that, but it's Mary-Kate and Ashley's Dance Party of the Century. It's basically a video series of things with them doing different dances, and you're supposed to learn how to do these dances with them. But the acting, of course, from them and everything else is just absolutely atrocious. Unfortunately, the cover on this one when they come off, but there's the inside of it, in case you were wondering. Here's another one of the ones. This is the only one I bought with a really kind of like busted cover, and that is Rescue Heroes Hurricane Havoc. Actually, a game just like the other one. Not the DVD ones I accidentally bought. This was cool to find also as well. Freddy Fish and Luther's Maze Madness, one of the Freddy Fish games. This one has you going through mazes, so kind of cool. Add it to the set. And last but not least, for the PC stuff, was Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Now, I'm sure this is the same exact game that was released also on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and I assume original Xbox. Anyway, based, of course, on the movie that Nickelodeon had put out. This was published by Activision. And then, kind of the highlight was getting a copy of Indigo Prophecy for the original Xbox. So, that's kind of cool. Some people don't like this game. I actually do. I like most of the games that were like created by the same people. So, kind of a cool game. If you've never played it before, Finding this was the gem. There was a lot of garbage PS2 stuff, of course. And, of course, when you're going through there, you have to open up every case and make sure that the CDs are actually included, because they just put the stuff on the shelves and people steal the CDs constantly out of these places. So you always want to make sure, if you do thrift shopping, that everything's actually there and it's the correct thing that you're looking for. So anyway, guys, that is everything I picked up today. I'm glad I actually got through everything kind of quickly, but that was cool. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out this week's Play It Through of Midnight Mutants. I have another one coming up Tuesday. I'm going to be doing my weekly wrap-up in just a little bit, so that'll be up after this. Yeah, I think that's kind of everything. So hope you are having a great, great weekend. I'm having fun. At least my area looks beautiful for once. Sun is out. Spring may finally be coming, at least to my place. Hopefully spring's coming to your area, too. It's been a hell of a winter. Anyway, thank you for watching. Of course, I hope you enjoyed.